We're finally doing part two of the podcast, and it's not even going to be a podcast. It's going to be story time.
We know you all awaited the part two, but here it comes. All your fantasies all bubbled
All your,
together in a single cauldron,
all your magnificent
twisted and
fantasies.
turned,
We all know you love our voices, yes.
swirling the cauldron right and right in a circular motion.
Okay, what are we swirling again?
The, yeah, you know,
The stuff.
I was thinking along the lines of like desires in a cauldron of witches, horror.
Yeah, horror, yes. So, summer is just about around the corner, but fuck it, we don't like summer, so we're skipping straight to fall. We're going to
Look,
do
look,
scary
look.
stories.
We can talk about summer and whatnot, but let's be honest, spookiness is like the most epic time of the year.
Yeah, spooky season, man. Everyone just
Exactly,
wants to skip the Halloween. No one
exactly.
gives a shit about summer.
Spooky season is like the best season.
Yeah, man. You get to just be scary or scarier than usual. Most people are already scary.
Most people, but like, I know I'm scary, but like,
Oh.
don't be scared. I won't harm you.
Yeah, you already know I'm scary. I already told you. I went walking by the street the other day and scared a little old lady without even trying.
Yeah, yeah.
Immediately just grabbed her kid and screeched out.
Like the
Yeah.
little old lady just went poof, just ran away, screaming, I might add.
No, I'm glad you didn't like pull out a gun or anything. It's California over here, man.
Look, man, she
Everyone
might.
has a gun.
Well, I guess the horror element that was part of
Yeah.
this was thankfully unharmed. So hopefully he stays unharmed because I kind of need him.
Yeah,
Hmm,
apparently, right. I am useful. I'm needed. I am quite wanted.
exactly. Everyone wants a piece of you, and everyone wants a
Yeah,
piece of me. We're
that's
like
not even
two
funny.
pieces of candy.
Yeah. Except you're just really good at everything, and everyone just wants me for my voice.
Yes, but end point is two pieces of candy.
Two pieces of candy
Exactly.
that you can't have because they will give you toothaches.
A lot more than two figs.
Full on fucking cavities. Let's go.
Cavities, heartburn, toothache, everything in a single package.
Instant diabetes.
Instant diabetes. So you better stay away from
Yeah.
us. We
Yeah.
scare
So
you.
today, as far as the scary stories go, they're all going to be off of Reddit because it's Reddit and they have all the scary stories because it's Reddit.
Yes, because
Not
it's Reddit.
sponsored, by the way. Yeah, not sponsored. We
I
just
wish, but yeah,
Reddit.
sadly.
Reddit sponsor us. I mean, no, don't. I don't
Hey,
even think Reddit can sponsor anyone.
I don't think they need to sponsor anyone. I think they're big enough as it is. So like,
Yeah, they just everyone knows Reddit.
yeah.
Um, yeah, all the stories I chose are off of Reddit. Meep, I don't know what type of stories you got. I think the ones you wrote yourself, right?
I could. I could. But other than that, I didn't really check for stories, sadly.
Oh, then we
But,
can just trade off on the ones I have, I guess, right?
yeah.
Or
Yeah,
or
yeah,
can you
yeah.
even see them?
I can, but you can send it to me.
Yeah.
I'll read it. I'll read it out for you.
I'll send you this link. That's the second story. I guess that will be all you.
Okay.
Uh, Meep, you've disappeared from me, buddy. There you are. Okay.
I know I'm a ghost, but like, I'm not gonna disappear for long.
Spooky. Yeah, that was gonna be the second
Spooky.
story, so I don't know.
I'll read the second story then.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we can
Let's-
listen to the velvety voice of the first story.
Oh, oh god, that's lots of pressure. Velvety voice. I shall
Yes.
just slow down and begin to sound like Morgan Freeman.
Please sit back and enjoy the ride.
Okay, let's see. Our first story today is from a user called Burnt Schmidt. And the story's called The Day My Wife Turned Into a Monster. Ooh.
Spooky.
I
Well, let's be
mean,
honest. Like wives are usually complete monsters.
I was gonna say at least like a week out of the month, but like, okay,
Yeah.
always
Well,
monsters.
well, I mean, if you have a good wife, then yeah, a week out of a month. But look, man, I haven't had much luck with wives. Let's be honest.
This is a take your word for it, man.
It's
Never
scarier
been
than
married.
horror.
Okay. Let's go. See how my voice changes as I start reading.
Yeah, I can clearly hear that. You know,
The
like
day
strapped
of
in.
a fairy tale wedding was also the day that we moved into my wife's childhood home. I was always perplexed as to why she wanted to do this. Her father was an abusive drunk who continually would cross a line I'd rather not speak of. She was such a fun, vibrant girl before this. It's that personality which attracted me to her most. She was half glass full, and I half empty. A push pull dynamic, which seems to be the key to most successful relationships. How can two people grow if they're both exactly the same? She was just so joyful until we moved in. Damn, actually, great fucking
Yeah,
first paragraph. Fuck.
it sounds pretty nice. I gotta say.
Yeah, like,
There we go.
kudos to the fucking writer.
And here we have the first kudos, everybody.
No, I'm glad this is the first story. It's actually pretty well written.
Wow.
Let's go. Second. The first few days were a dream. Nothing but love making, food, and more sex. Aside from our intruder alarm constantly going off and malfunctioning, having the cops over 6 times, nothing seemed off. Until I got home to find her standing in the middle of the living room, holding a handheld camera, so what, filming the recliner chair. Babe? Babe! She was entranced. I had to literally shake her out of it. My eyes just shook and I lost my place and it said handheld, not handful. My god. That is
He's already getting scared, folks. This will
so,
be
yeah, I'm
a
already shaking in my boots, man.
this will be a long night.
Yeah, he's only said babe, babe, and nope, that's enough for me.
And you're like, whoa, I'm out. This is too much for me.
Mm. That night, our security alarm went off again, and this time, the front door was wide opened. The police told us to wait in our locked bedroom while they swept the house. Stay here. Don't leave until I come back. We searched the house and found nothing. We went to bed, finally, and Sherry said something a little disquieting. Please hold me. I've been having really bad nightmares.
Oh,
Damn.
really bad nightmares.
Disquieting. No, damn. Nice word.
And here we discover your new words. Oh,
Yeah. Word of the day. Disquieting.
disquieting everybody. Write it down.
Learn it, read it, figure it out.
Learn it, read it, and figure it out. For all your disquieting needs.
Disquieting. That night, I awoke to find her out of bed. I searched the house and nearly fell backwards when I entered the living room. All I could see was the flashing red record button hovering in the middle of the room. Once again, she was standing in the dark, just filming the living room chair. She has no history of somnambulance, but suddenly she acquired it in the span of a few days. I'd walk her to bed, and she'd only murmur gibberish in a confused state. The next day, she remembered nothing, only told me she had horrible nightmares again. She
Oh.
refused to tell me what they were about. Oh,
Oh.
somnambulance! God, this guy just went to the
Horrible
encyclopedia,
nightmares.
dictionary. Yep, this guy just pulled out all the fucking words. Okay,
All the
nice.
stops, you know. He wanted it to be
Yeah.
to be a banger, and it is so far. Managed to scare a Runic. Oh.
Not scared yet. No,
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Not shaking. You are.
You can't tell what I am and what not.
Yeah. No. Okay. You're right.
Exactly.
Carrie claimed to not remember anything of her sleepwalking. After 3 days of this strange behavior, I remember on the ride home thinking that we should make a doctor's appointment for her. When I arrived home that day, her car was in the driveway, but she was nowhere to be found. Serendipitously, I happened to find her shoe prints in the mud and followed them through the woods. I found her at the edge of the neighbor's property filming their house. When we
Sneaky.
got home, I had her lay down and take a nap. Even gave her a sleeping pill so she could hopefully sleep peacefully. By the time my bedtime came, she was still in a deep sleep. It was now Wednesday, and her appointment was on Friday. That night, I awoke to go pee, and when I admittedly shrieked like a girl upon sitting up in bed. Yo, that's me, bro. Sherry was standing at the foot of the bed filming me in pitch darkness. Okay, honey, that's enough with the camera. I took it with me to work the next day, curious to know what she'd been filming. However, before I left for work, my wife said something jarring as she laid in bed with her eyes still closed. He's alive.
Disquieting.
Yeah, very disquieting. Serendipitously, Jesus.
Serendipitously.
I just all the big words, man.
Well, this is a banger of a story. You know, you gotta use big
Yeah.
words.
Big words make a banger story. Yep.
More or less.
What I found.
Please go
What I
on.
found shook me deeply. Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Let me just take a sippy of water right now.
Go ahead. The water's not cursed. I didn't put a hex on it or anything.
No, thanks for that, friend.
You're welcome, friend.
Oh, okay. What I found shook me deeply. The first video, she filmed a chair for 3 hours and 17 minutes until I came home. I didn't have the time to listen, so I just fast forwarded to find out how long they were. Then there were the nights she stood in the living room, 2 hours and 36 minutes, and the second night, 4 hours and 1 minute. Because I was pressed for time, I didn't stop to check, partially because I was in disbelief. It looked like a dark, shadowy figure was seated in the chair, but I brushed it off as a light from outside bouncing off of the furniture. The next disturbed me beyond comprehension. She stood at the edge of the neighbor's property for 8 hours and 11 minutes in the pouring down rain. All fucking day.
Language missing. It's a husband, but you know.
Well, it's actually the husband talking about his wife.
Exactly.
The wife's
So, like,
yeah. All fucking day. It's fine. It's cool. We're all grown ups.
it's only a day, right?
Hopefully.
Oh. Are we?
I don't know. I don't know who listens to this stuff.
Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. Maybe.
We'll
If
see.
ever.
Yeah, we'll see our demographics. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
What was most bothersome about the video, where she spent all day standing in one spot, was that she zoomed in on and filmed the neighbor's little girl through her bedroom window. Yo, that's peeping. That's illegal.
That is peeping. Invasion of
I'm
privacy.
Sure yeah, no, it's right. Immediately, FBI.
And yet, here we go. She filmed it.
I'm sure some kind of law was broken. Hey, we just said that.
Yes.
And then came the last night, which I wished I never watched. It lasted only 8 minutes. I was able to actually sit through it the entire time she repeatedly engaged in discourse with an invisible person, saying over and over the words, "It won't work. He's too strong," followed by, "You're right. You're right."
I think your wife is
trying to kill me.
Slightly off hilter.
Uh, Helter skelter. It's unsettling.
Yeah. Spooky.
I was thrust awake the next morning by the blaring intruder alarm at 7:14 a.m. I jumped out of bed to find the locked front door wide open, and this time, Jerry was missing. The rain was battering the house like hails of bullets. I called police, and the 911 operator told me something surreal. The police have actually responded to a call at the house next door to you. They should arrive imminently.
Oh. Next door to you, the little girl which your wife filmed?
I ran across the yard, through the woods, to find the police trying to calm down a hysterical mother. Screaming the words, "Please find her! She couldn't have gone far!"
I was right.
I suddenly became sick inside. I ran over and explained the situation with Sherry. "It's okay. They probably just took a walk together." I did my best to try and calm the mother down, but inside I was screaming, because what I hadn't mentioned was the fact I had found my shed wide open too, and a shovel was missing. I looked inside, but she wasn't there. I aided the police in their search. It wasn't until we'd gone away from the sobbing mother that I told them what was really going on. That my wife had been acting crazy, that she'd been filming the girl, and that other thing, the missing tool. As I passed through through the woods, I found a pair of pink children's socks. Shut up! I didn't mess up.
It's all good. Don't worry.
And a ripped off pair of bloody pajamas kind of ruins the mood.
Kind of, but you know, it's too late for that.
Yeah. We're not going for professionals here, are we? Not yet.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, we'll see.
Suddenly, I received a call. The detective. "We found her."
I gotta say, your wife is very suspicious.
What a bitch. She a bitch. She crazy.
That
bitch.
too, yeah. But also suspicious.
Suspicious. Highly suspect.
Highly suspect.
Yo, it's pretty sus activity you got going on there.
Like she films a little girl and then the little girl disappears. Like,
Yeah. Yo, she an imposter.
yeah, more than an imposter. A minor.
Yeah, apparently. On the way to the church, I physically retched when I found two more items. Mud-covered shovel, and worse, a blood-splattered hammer. I could visually see the church just on the other side of the woods. As I approached, I saw people running away screaming, and the police with their guns drawn. "Mr. Resnick, stay back!" An officer screamed. In the center of the half-circle of officers drenched in the still hammering rain was Sherry in her sopping wet bloody nightgown, brandishing the hammer as if prepared to strike, but with those deadened eyes in that same morbid awakened somnambulant state. Jesus.
Damn. Can you imagine?
And then
Her
No,
face
that's-
was smashed in front of God. You know, church.
a hammer though, jeez. What's she
Yeah.
need the shovel for then?
Barrier. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but like they found the mud-covered shovel.
Yeah,
And
mud
blood-splattered
covered, right?
hammer. Oh, so she did dig. Yeah. Probably dug the hole first and then.
I assume so.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be the. Why am I talking
The
about this like
logical,
this is common
the
sense?
logical.
That'd be the
way,
logical thing
yeah.
to murder someone. Yeah.
But you know,
Dig the grave first and then.
we're
kill
definitely
them
not
in
professional murderers here. Hey,
What? No, don't give them that idea. What?
I would never.
And then we locked eyes. I was no longer looking at the woman I married on our wedding day. I was leering dead into the eyes of a deranged monster. Sherry was gone. As we stared at each other, Sherry mouthed indecipherable words, and slightly turned her head to the left, like she was whispering to an invisible entity standing right beside her, before swinging the hammer backwards, bashing in her own skull. Dropped to the pavement in a pool of red rushing, along with the rain into a sewer grate. Dead at the scene, I fell to my knees and recoiled into myself. I was frozen, weak, and couldn't even cry. Absolute shock. 5.5 years gone, and an oncoming tsunami of grief that has only accelerated in the past 6 months since this occurred.
That's that's quite a way to go.
Yeah. Also, like, that is hardcore as shit.
Yeah, and it's
To
your
swing a
wife.
hammer at yourself? Yeah.
It's your wife.
Swing a hammer at yourself to crack your own skull.
It's metal, isn't it?
No, you know how small common household hammers are? That's.
Yeah, I know. It's
God. Unless you're using a sledgehammer, but that's not
well,
it.
sledgehammers, yeah, but like a normal hammer. If you swing it
Yeah.
without any hesitation, yeah, and quite a bit of power behind it.
You need quite a lot of power
Quite a lot
behind
of
it to
power,
smash
yeah.
through a skull.
But then again, she did completely smash a little girl's skull into little
Yeah,
bits.
but it's a little kids' skulls are less developed than adults. I mean,
True,
I don't know that.
true. However, either way, you need a lot of force.
Love. But I
Yeah.
guess it'd be easier to smash someone else's skull. But like, think about, you would think your body has a lot of like natural defenses to to stop you from harming yourself.
But then again, have you ever been like at like this kind of situation where you speak to demons and whatnot?
Um, speak to
Well, like she was
no.
recording while speaking to someone or something,
I
demon or
guess yeah.
something.
So there's definitely something going on
Yeah,
there. You're right.
something
Okay.
supernatural, spooky.
Ooh, that's where the spooky comes from.
Spooky. It's not just about murder, everybody.
Mhm. Teams of police and neighbors have been looking for months, and that little girl is still missing. So many, just too many times. I've seen that poor mother outside screaming and cursing God as her husband embraced her, praying for her little girl to be found. I wish I had answers. I've spent entire nights, sometimes until the sun came up, looking for freshly dug holes, waking from nightmares about violent things, terrible things. Cherry bashing that little girl into mush, burying her while still breathing. It won't stop.
Into mush.
That is
It's quite a
too descriptive.
it's quite a visual.
Yeah,
Hmm.
mush. I'm gonna just finish off these last two
Mm-hmm.
paragraphs. I decided to finally watch the videos my wife had filmed all the way through. I couldn't do it for months because I just didn't want to know. Much of it, initially, were just banal responses. No, I know, I know. Uh huh. Other times pleading. Please don't. Just leave us alone. No. Why can't you just leave me be happy? And then a little further down the rabbit hole. Please don't make me say it. Please don't make me say it. Okay, okay. Your baby girl. I'm your baby girl. And finally, a terrifying revelation. It was barely audible amidst the smattering of pouring rain, but I increased the volume as she filmed a little girl playing with dolls in her room, a message specifically for me. Michael, something is wrong with me. I'm feeling it. Someone who couldn't possibly be here anymore. And in silence for about 34 minutes, before another voice sounded out. It was Sherry speaking in a very low, apathetic, evil tone. Okay, Daddy, I'll do it. I love you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. You know, that reminds me of the movie Sinister, where the demon would control the kids to kill their families and make them film
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, same type of thing, except with a wife.
Kind of
And
similar. There's some similarities, yeah.
yep,
But,
yep.
so, I'm assuming, right, that her father was quite, hmm, abusive. I'll say that much.
Something was definitely going on.
And after he died, she thought she was free, but apparently his ghost still haunted her.
It's
And
just, it's very, very bizarre, man.
yeah,
To have a wife so easily manipulated like that, that's bullshit.
I mean, look, man. When a wife is a wife and a ghost is a ghost, they come together. And if there's some kind of connection, like mental connection, I mean,
Yeah, she's
yeah,
gonna
she'd be
become
manipulated, yeah.
the ghost baby's girl, baby girl.
The ghost baby's girl, yeah, baby girl. I mean,
Baby girl, yeah.
I mean,
I'm your
this,
baby girl.
like from what I understand, it's like her father's ghost, right? Right. Am I wrong? No,
Apparently, I
yes.
think that's how it goes, right?
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the ghost was just part of the house, right? Because that's what they were talking about.
Part of the house, could be.
Yeah, when the chair, she was filming the chair first.
Yeah, the chair, the window.
The
What was it?
the one part I don't understand is where she was filming him at the foot of his bed and saying that he's too strong. Like, what was she planning then?
Probably
He's too
another
strong.
murder.
Or maybe he was just talking. She was talking about the spirit.
The ghost itself can't resist him.
Yeah, he's too
Her
strong.
father, he's too strong. Could be that too.
Yeah.
Could be quite a few things, to be honest.
Yeah. Our second story is going to be by user Opinionated in My Opinion, IMO. Opinionated IMO. And it's called It
Opinionated
Started with an
IMO
Itch. Yeah.
started with an itch.
And this one shall be read by the immaculate Meepy.
Oh, I'm immaculate, am I?
Yeah, immaculate. You said my velvet voice. You're immaculate.
Well, thank you for the introduction, dear Runic.
Yeah.
Are we about ready to start the second story?
Yeah, anytime you want, man. Take a break, come back in an hour, who knows, whatever you want to
Oh, you
do.
want me to? I mean, I can take a break if you want me to, but you know, you're the one who read most of the first one.
No, no, no. It's just whatever you want to do, man. It's up to
Yeah, whatever I want to do.
you.
This guy, I swear to God. Anyways, it started with an itch. Have you heard about a condition known as foreign limb syndrome? It's where an individual becomes convinced that some part of their body no longer belongs to them. No matter how diligently doctors try to convince them otherwise, they can't accept the disputed appendage. It's as if the estranged limb or body part is an unauthorized transplant. In their compromised views, sometimes they obsess over this incredibly powerful compulsion, so much that they ask third world surgeons to actually remove their alien limb. In rare cases, they successfully manage to locate unscrupulous people to satisfy those requests. No one
Actually,
knows what causes this horrifying condition, and until very recently, I was as baffled by it as everyone else. I just assumed the phenomenon denoted the mark of madness, hypomasochism, and some advanced level of instability. I believed it also had to stem from prolonged narcotic or psychedelic drug use. Nothing else made sense. The destructive obsession that some part of your body you were born with wasn't really you appeared to be a dangerous delusion. Like the others, I was fascinated by the condition from a casual observer standpoint, but I never expected to be afflicted by it myself.
I've heard of many cases like this, actually. People have have to end up getting multiple amputations because the first will be one limb and then they'll go for the other and the other and the other. And then
Wow.
on the opposite end of the spectrum, there'll be people who lost the limb and they'll think it's still there.
Ah, like some
Yeah.
kind of phantom limb.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they get
Yeah.
pains and everything. It's fucking crazy, man.
Also known as phantom pain.
Yep, phantom pain.
So let's see where this goes. Let me begin by saying I am fully aware that to believe in such things comes across as highly irrational. We know our bodies literally like the back of our hands. When a person incurs an injury, they feel the pain associated with it. They recognize the wound as physical damage to their own person. After reading the details below, documenting my own personal descent into this madness, I hope you'll recognize that it was authored by a sober, fully lucid person. I am assuming we're going into some kind of train of insanity here.
Yeah, just
This
unraveling. Jesus.
slowly unraveling, going from scientific to crazy, I'm assuming.
Psychotic. Yeah.
Yeah. Despite you recognizing my genuine level of clarity up until this point, I freely confess that I've also been afflicted by the same foreign limb madness mentioned earlier. I wanted to share this harrowing account in order to explain that the same malicious thoughts can strike anyone. No one is immune. These deranged feelings may be divorced from reality, but they're just as real to the afflicted as the sun way up in the sky. Also, like other souls before me, there's no convincing us of the rational facts. I'm 100% convinced now that parts of me aren't and weren't me any longer. Can you imagine how that's like?
It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, man. But like you're aware. Oh, Parasite. You know how he gets it stuck in
Yeah,
his arm?
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine not
Jesus.
having control of your arm or something. Like,
No, that's
so weird. So
no.
weird to think of.
I already see this whole world as a simulation. I don't need that bullshit.
Well, it's actually more than a simulation.
Well, there you go.
Well, despite taking matters into my own trembling hands, ooh, trembles, the list of alien body parts attached to my person has continued to grow. Even with the extraordinary measure of multiple self-amputations, it hasn't been enough to hold back the aggressive level of foreign tissue assimilation, nor has it stemmed my desire for more of these gory mutilations, to say the maddening compulsions. I fear that soon no part of me will be original, and that all that will remain will be a pale, counterfeit impostor of my former self.
He's literally just being taken over.
Basically, like, multiple amputations, gory mutilations, like, he went all
Trying to,
out, didn't he?
yeah, trying to control the disease. It's like what people would do when they get venom or even necrotizing fasciitis.
Yeah.
This is the flesh-eating disease. They have to like amputate right above where they think it is
Uh-huh.
because it can easily
It can
just
spread.
spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is basically this kind of in the same vein. Complete
Yeah, yeah.
except a lot more gore.
Yeah, even with old-timey days before modern medicine, when they had to amputate, they would have to amputate higher
Yeah.
than where the
Yep.
injury was. Yep, yep. God damn.
It's pretty scary to think about, honestly.
Yeah, no.
This all started out with a tingling sensation inside my left nostril. I looked around like most would do to make sure the coast was clear. Then I discreetly went into this large, irritating boulder clogging up my nose. Immediately, I was struck by a lingering sensation that my tunneling index digit was exploring someone else's nasal cavity. It sent an involuntary shudder down my spine, which I couldn't shake. The sensation was both powerful and irrefutable. Intellectually, I knew it was my nose, yet I also knew, emotionally, it was not. I immediately dislodged my finger like it'd been caught mining for gold by some gawking bystander. The thing was, there was no one else around to see my uncouth behavior. I was fully alone. Reacting that way made me feel ridiculous, but not for the obvious reason of it being in bad taste. After recoiling in revulsion, I was hesitant to revisit the nasal passageway again because I felt like I'd violated another person's body. Creepy wouldn't even begin to cover how odd it felt. It was like examining a lifeless cadaver's orifice. While I touched familiar areas of my nose still attached to me, from a certain point inside, it was definitely another person's foreign skin. Somehow my left nostril had been replaced, and the unexplained replica had been fused to my own. Yeah, so as I said, that kind of feeling is...
I can't, like, as soon as he said shudder down his spine, I felt that too.
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
exactly how it'd be. It's like,
So
I can't even think about picking someone else's nose, you know?
Yeah, it's so weird. And when when it's supposed to be your nose but feels like someone else's, like, what?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, unlike the previous story, this is more of a psychological horror.
Yeah, yeah.
My pulse raced in mounting terror. What inhuman creature could do such a bizarre operation, and what happened to my real skin? Even if I could appeal to the mercy of the morbid entity who'd performed this biological monstrosity, would it be able to return me back to a whole individual again? Was I doomed to exist with another person's nasal passage unnaturally adjoined to my face? Those nightmarish thoughts, with many others equally horrifying, consumed me. In light of the terrible realization that my body was under attack, I couldn't focus on anything else. But things were about to get infinitely worse.
Oh god, nope.
This is
Nope.
where the spiral begins.
Yeah, this is immediately already. This story is more horrifying than the other.
Yep.
Like,
Honestly, it
yeah.
is like it shivers. Yeah.
Because one thing is if something like someone else is doing all the stuff, right? Like at
Yeah.
least you have some control over it. But like if you feel your own
If it's
body
your
not
own
being your
body
own,
not being in your, like it's like something been infiltrated your body, changed it
like
completely.
parasites are already fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Diseases are already crazy to think about, and it's sort of anything having to do with your body, like just no,
Imagine
no.
if
Let
this
it.
kind of thing was like a parasitic kind of thing that could
Yeah,
just infect anyone randomly. Oh man.
yeah, because there are parasites that turn their host into zombies,
Yeah.
especially with insects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, 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 no.
Just as the side of my nose had been replaced, the tips of my fingers started feeling foreign too. Was
Oh
it a,
hell no.
it was as if the point of contact with my nasal passage had infected me everywhere they traveled. Rapidly, I felt the onset of imposter flesh all over my body. Many parts of my body started tingling and itching. Everywhere that innocently touched, I felt numb and foreign. It suggested an eventual seizure of my entire body in just a short incubation period. I went from a happy, carefree existence to worrying I wouldn't be able to stop the alien tissue replacement long enough to even document the frightening conspiracy.
No. On this one, as soon as they mentioned itching all over, I started getting tingling and itching too. Bullshit. No, stop it. No,
And
I
imagine,
won't have it.
just imagine, his fingers started feeling all foreign, so he mutilated them.
Bruh. No, and then
So that's
he started getting
everywhere,
itching all
all
over.
over
Yeah,
his
yeah.
body, just whoa,
Okay,
ouch.
like just don't go towards the private area. Come on.
Hopefully he
I
didn't
couldn't
touch
even
it.
imagine. Yeah, not
Jesus.
having to chop it off. Goddamn.
I was determined to fight back, but I didn't know how to achieve success. The unknown force consuming my identity piecemeal was winning the battle. I had to act decisively before I wasn't me any longer. As these radiating fears escalated, so did my level of desperation. Reluctantly, I realized what drastic measures were necessary to regain control. I had to violently excise the artificial flesh, lest the terrifying imposter disease spread even more. Cutting off the left side of my nose to spite my malignant face wasn't going to be easy. For starters, the sheer pain of self-mutilation is excruciating. You've probably never experienced anything which approaches that degree of morbid intensity. My nerve endings were still attached to the foreign flesh. No matter how painful it was, I had to carve back enough of my own skin until I'd severed away all the counterfeit tissue. It was all about risk management.
Holy shit, like, that is some hardcore, like,
I know.
the closest I've gotten to self-mutilation, and it was all accidental, was like pulling out a toenail.
Oh, the closest I've
I had to-
gotten, complete accident by the way, was I almost gouged out my eye.
No, my god. Okay, I can't even compare. Nope.
And
haven't
for
even gotten-
like a couple of months I just had a giant cut on my face that's leading up right next to my eye. That was fun to explain to all my co-workers. Moving on. I bled profusely and nearly passed out from massive blood loss, but it was fully worth it in my mind. I was on my way to freeing myself of the foreign tissue pretending to be me. A glorious mixture of excruciating agony and ecstasy filled my mind. The only problem at that point was that my fingertips bore the same telltale tingling as my nostril had before I'd carved it off. Touching the diseased area had obviously spread it to my fingers. It was a rookie mistake to not use surgical gloves. Full freedom was close by, but I had one more drastic thing to do. The ends of my fingertips had to be chopped off, and there was an even uglier decision to make. How much should I amputate? Midway through, up to the joint, I made a particularly tough choice to go all the way to the second knuckle. Better to be safe than sorry, I decided. It was a hard call, but I didn't want the insidious takeover of my body to spread any further. I had a curling iron ready to cauterize the severed nubs, but I still feared going through with it. It was going to be intense.
Christ.
Oh.
Yo, like, let's give him the award for like most badass. Like, goddamn.
You know what's even worse for me, because I can actually imagine all of that.
No, yeah. No, yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure most people could imagine it.
Yeah, anyone who can visually imagine the pain, not even just visually, just actually feel that kind of pain. Oh god.
And and then just even thinking about a curling iron ready to
Mhm.
cauterize the skin. Goddamn. Like, I've burnt myself so many times, like with a heat gun on a regular fire, on a
But
bonfire.
straight up into a wound with the fire.
Yeah, no,
basically.
yeah, and having to do that yourself.
Mm-hmm. Completely force yourself. Oh.
Just get an assistant. Jesus, where's Igor?
I need my assistant, please. Worse than the immense pain itself was that I had trouble holding the branding iron afterward to cauterize my hemorrhaging wounds. You don't realize all that your body does until you lose parts of it to an invasive foreign infection. With my blood loss, I was tempted to go to the hospital, but I feared they wouldn't take my rational testimony seriously. Once I'd successfully excised all the foreign tissue from my remaining body, they could think me crazy all they wished. I'd gladly enter padded cell. I was determined to prevent any further imposter spread until then. Deeply troubling was the lingering itch to the top of my ears, which came next. I thought for certain I'd finally eliminated all the alien tissue. With my finger stumps, I reluctantly held a pair of large fabric shears and counted down. When I reached 0, I snipped off the top portion of both ears, like they were unwanted pieces of discarded cloth. No sooner than my nerve endings quit throbbing from the masochistic abuse, my tongue also began to itch. It was horribly frustrating to sacrifice so much of myself in the name of body autonomy, and yet still come up short.
Oh my god.
Perhaps even worse than losing 2 finger joints in the ongoing war. was the immense sacrifice of severing off the tongue. It was my sole means of verbal communication, and losing it was impossible to compensate for. I was filled with a spiraling sadness greater than all the other losses combined, but I realized that it was already gone. The foreign thing hiding at the top of my mouth wasn't mine, and I kept reminding myself of that while that sharp blade sliced through it. I prayed that it was the very last artificial body that I would have to remove, but it wasn't to be.
Bro, like every passing fucking paragraph, I'm just like shrinking into my chair more and more.
Just
You
like,
know, the one horror movie that I refuse to rewatch is called Cabin Fever. It's all about actually necrotizing fasciitis. But in that, the guys they try to like chop off parts of it
yeah,
to
they
stop the
do.
spread. Nope.
It's kind of along the same vein, so when you watch the movie, you can actually even imagine it even further with
Yeah.
more detail.
No. The funny thing is, like, I could watch like slasher films where
Oh
the
yeah,
killer, dismembers
yeah,
bodies
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. Like, if I see a person do it to themselves, Saw one when the guy had to cut off his own. Nope.
Alright, let's finish this up, shall we?
Yep.
In all, I amputated or sliced off 2 dozen large and small body parts before losing consciousness. I was discovered by EMTs doing a wellness check, barely clinging to life. They stabilized me for the time being, but I've been indefinitely confined to a sanitarium for so-called self-harm. No amount of effort could convince the doctors and staff I wasn't harming myself. I was removing foreign tissue from my own body which didn't belong there. They reacted to my controversial statements as I did when I first heard of foreign limb syndrome. They looked at me like I am deeply deluded and unstable, all except one frightened psychiatrist who made the mistake of touching one of my festering wounds yesterday. Fluids from the alien tissue simulating my body must be highly contagious. I can tell by the terrified look in his eyes that he's got the same deadly itch too. It won't be long before he's a patient here in a room next to me. Let's hope his own freedom comes with less personal amputations.
Okay, I just gave you the scarier story. That's some bullshit.
You totally did.
What the hell? Like, nice. Good on you. Jesus. Who was this guy?
Man.
Opinionated IMO?
Opinionated IMO. That was a
Hope that was
good
actually
story.
his. God damn. Hell yeah.
I hate it,
Quoting.
but that's because it's good. Yeah.
Bruh. What the
Man, I can't. If that happened to me, I don't even know, man.
No.
Uh,
And it's a contagious. No. That's. No.
highly contagious.
Everyone stay the fuck away from me. If you have any oozing, whatever. Nope.
Any oozing
And
fluids
started-
from your body, just no.
It started in his nose.
In his nose
fuck?
cavity.
Jesus. That means if he sneezed.
If he
Oh
sneezed.
crap! It's Corona.
You know, nah, I think this is worse than Corona, to be honest.
Yeah. No. Of course it's worse. But I mean, like, it's as contagious and spreadable as Corona.
In terms of contagion, yeah,
Yeah.
if not worse. I mean, you just touch and boom.
Yeah.
Man. Touching people will feel weird now, won't it?
Look, I don't touch too many people, so I hope it doesn't.
Uh,
I still haven't even held my girlfriend. Come on.
Man. You better hope she won't turn out as the previous story.
Shut up, Beam. Shut up.
You never know these things after all.
It'll be all like, Babe, I have to tell you something. I can't touch you because the story I read just makes it impossible to get near anyone.
Like, I'm really sorry, but like, I do not want alien tissue on my body. Imposter flesh, as you would call it.
Yeah.
Man.
I already have too many issues. Don't need that.
Well, now you have it. Man. Ugh.
God damn. We're gonna go for one more story each. I think that should be good, right?
One more each.
Yeah, that means I'm gonna have to switch over because that other story's a four-parter, so we're not gonna do that
We've
four-part.
been going for 50 minutes.
Oh, damn, that was
Two
fast.
stories.
Two stories, 15 minutes. Yeah, one more each, and I think we should be fine. Let me check this one out real quick. That was too short.
You know, I noticed this while we were like saying stories, but the music really ramped up at the perfect moments. Like
Yeah, they
honestly,
do. And then even if it changes, it's still kind of, I don't know. It's
it
just like,
it kept ramping up at the very perfect moments. Like I was like, wait, what music? Whoa, hi!
here we go. We're gonna do this one. Let's see.
You found something.
Yeah, I'll give you this one for your second, and then I'll read
Okay.
the word flower, the one I already have open, basically. Uh, Meepy, here you are.
Tell me, send me yours as well, just so I could,
Oh,
show it.
for sure, for sure. I should have done that in the beginning too, huh?
I found it by myself, so it's fine. You also sent the exact same link.
You're shitting me, right?
No, I'm not. You sent the exact same link.
Where the what? There you are. Why'd you fucking aim it?
Mm-hmm.
It's cut. Yeah, it sent you the same link. My bad.
Technical difficulties.
Technicalities.
Technicalities.
Okay, so that's gonna be your story, right?
That's gonna
And
be
then
mine.
I have, and then this is gonna be mine. Swear I'm not stupid with a computer usually.
Usually.
Like, yeah,
Nah,
that's the
it's
one
all
I'm
good.
gonna. Yeah, I swear my mouse keeps going to the other screen.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
So, you ready? You rested up?
I am all good. I'm actually cold sweating from the last story because yeah, no, like, the
Oh,
body
I totally understand.
psychological body horror is like, yeah, no.
That was a good one, honestly.
No, you see, I have, I had. It's kind of getting better, but I still kind of have issues with fingernail biting, just biting my fingers in general,
Yeah.
and that's always in the back of my head that I'm gonna bite off a piece of my skin. It's just gonna keep on going. I'm just gonna rip flesh off my skin and expose bone, and my fingers just gonna like fall off.
Yeah, that. If you don't rid of yourself of that habit, could totally happen.
I know, bro. Lots of bacteria in the mouth. It's an
Mm-hmm.
open wound. All sorts of things. I know.
Yeah,
I've seen the results of that happening. The
me
exact
too.
thing.
It's pretty horrible.
Let's see. My second story and my final one is by
Yes.
user Black Pilled Feminist.
4 hours
Quote.
ago. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty recent.
Really
Where
recent.
flowers bloom and sparrows sing. I like that title. It's like poetry.
It is. And I think there's a poem a bit
Oh,
down below.
perfect. Yeah,
So,
I swear I'm gonna do poetry readings on my channel.
man.
Uh,
We
I'm
can
gonna just
always
do
do
that.
podcast about poem reading later on
Oh,
in the future.
yeah.
We'll see.
Actually, yeah.
We'll see,
We'll
yeah.
see how this goes. Okay. Where flowers bloom and sparrows sing. Smells of singed hair and burnt flesh assail your nose. The boot crunches charred bones, and your eyes take in the sights of bloody corpses with their innings strewn or missing limbs. You have made it to Tito's butcher shop. Unlike outside, the overwhelming pungent odor in this enclosed space is ripe. A cloud of flies buzz with when the door closes. Tito is sitting on a stool with a dull, lifeless gaze oozing a dark goo from his half-open mouth. Like the meat in the glass case, his body is bloated green. Suicide. You realize as you notice a dark cloth hidden beneath the folds of his neck. It runs behind him and is attached to a meat pulley.
Starting off
Okay.
really gory.
Starting off like right off the bat, like
Like,
immediately, just punch in the face.
straight in there. Basically a punch in the face, you're right. Man.
Tito's suffering has ceased. Yours hasn't. Your stomach rumbles. The half can of stale beans you slurped this morning has already been digested. You curse at your belly and move to the back. Luckily, Tito had stocked for the apocalypse. There's plenty of canned goods. You smile. Your lower lip cracks in appreciation. A parched tongue runs on the cut. You taste the iron. No beans tonight.
Man.
So,
This is
this is an apocalypse
I
of some sort?
of some sort, yeah. People dying.
I guess people are turning into cannibals then? Something like, oh, I don't know.
That
Probably
kind
war.
of looks like it. Yeah. Yeah. But it's starting off really strong.
Yeah. The tap trickles, producing murky waters. You're too thirsty to think about filtration. You wash your face. The sooty runoff indicates the dire need for a proper bath. You're too exhausted from the running and fighting for that lingering thought to be pleasant. Your body begs for proper rest. Something you haven't had since the first bombs dropped.
Yeah, bombs.
Oh, yep, it's a war.
It's a war. Apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic, yeah.
Mm.
Tito had a bed upstairs, which he used often so he could raise early and prepare the orders. The butchery was bustling in those times, and Tito complained of not having anyone to help out. You had agreed to do it then. Tito had paid you by the hour to haul boxes to the delivery trucks. You get to the room. The stench is lesser somehow up here. The glass window's broken, but Tito had plastered cardboard to cover the gaping holes. You hesitate when you get to the bed. You don't want to ruin Tito's white sheets. You undo the bed. A piece of paper flies out from under the fitted sheet. It's Tito's handwriting.
Oh. Your time to shine, isn't it?
Yeah. Proper Shakespearean.
Proper Shakespeare Runic, yes.
But his name is Tito, so he probably sounds Hispanic. Oh, crap.
Nah, you're fine, just do you.
I dream of a perfect place, where water is clean, and trees grow. I dream of a perfect place, where flowers bloom and sparrows sing. I dream of a perfect place, where fields are green and stars glow. I dream of a perfect place, but now shadows loom and bullets fling. I know there's no perfect place.
That's a pretty good
Stare at
poem.
the words. No, yeah. Repetition, man. That's all what it's about.
I know, but like, it really puts in perspective the whole situation of what's happening in that post-apocalyptic scenario, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadows loom and bullets fling.
Mm-hmm.
God.
No greens, no blooming flowers, you know?
Nothing.
No clean water, nothing.
No singing birds. That's a big one.
Yeah,
That means
yeah. Radiation killed
either
them
the
off.
air's too toxic. Yeah, air's too toxic, or they just moved away.
Mm-hmm.
Uninhabitable. You stare at the words until they turn blurry. You think of throwing away the paper, but you decide against that. Heavy with guilt, you rush downstairs to give the note to Tito. Place the note beneath his blistered sausage fingers. lifting them as gently as you can so as to not pop them. There's a commotion outside, and only then do you notice the red dots on Tito and on you. Unfortunately, you spot the soldiers through a broken window. We command that you surrender. One of the announces. One of them announces with a megaphone. I'm pretty sure they forgot a letter there.
It's just don't worry about it. It might happen accidentally, you know.
Yeah, yeah. These are handwritten after all. Your feet won't move. You begin to disassociate again. The world blurs and you feel like a Tim Burton character in an animated film. The world suddenly shatters. Tito explodes beside you, spilling everywhere.
Ugh.
Putrid stench makes you dry heave. Your knees give way. You fall, crawling on glass shards and bit of rotting flesh as you move. A sharp pain spreads in your chest, and your extremities become numb. You remember the line from Tito's poem, "Where flowers bloom and sparrows sing." Then your world narrows into a pinhole vision in silence. Then you're in a field, filled with wildflowers, and birds chirping sweetly away. Well, damn.
Damn, that.
You got shot. You dead.
Yeah, he did, but that was kind of pretty in a way.
Yeah, no.
Completely different from the last one.
Yeah, these have all been pretty. They're all
Pretty good, you know.
Wide range, yeah.
And
This
they're
one is good as well.
different, like themed, completely.
This one had a poem in it. I love this one.
Yeah,
Good.
this is like
Good on you.
this was like meant for you, you know. Like here you go, Shakespeare Runic.
Shakespearean.
We know you want to show
Dream
off,
of the perfect place.
man.
Oh, God, that was nice. I like that one.
It was extremely gory, but like, it was beautiful in a way.
It was like, it wasn't gory to like the sense of repulsion, but it was
Well, yeah,
gory
it was
to,
more like blood,
very
guts,
descriptive. Yeah.
everything, you know.
Post-apocalyptic. Yeah, after a war or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Still some war going on, you know, between factions, bullets flying and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although the other team had laser sights, cheating assholes.
How dare they?
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, and we only have your last story.
Yep,
Your
just
second
my
to
last story.
And that one is by user objective tel 6047. And it's called
It's like an
Blackout on
SCP.
Loft Street, right? Laugh Street.
Blackout on Loft Street.
Yeah.
Should I say
Could be
Loft?
Laugh.
Loft.
Laugh. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
I
would
think
say
it's
Loft.
I think it's Loft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, are we ready? Probably. Unless you want to
Even if
imagine
you're
some
not ready-
post-apocalyptic scenarios.
No, that's already a big concern of mine. Like
That it
all
might
this
happen in
going
your
on.
lifetime.
Yeah. No.
Completely
that's the last
possible.
thing I need.
Okay. I won't torment
Oh,
you,
the one thing I
guess.
will mention before is how they said
Yes.
Tito's fingers were fat sausages. I
Mhm.
could only think of Shrek. Don't you point your fat sausage fingers at me.
Well, there we have it, folks. Shrek.
You
Man,
had to get him involved somehow, you know.
we need to get him to his swamp, you know. It's the scariest
Yeah.
place of all. You never
Yeah,
know what happens in there. Nobody ever comes back from Shrek Swamp.
Yep, he's an ogre.
He's an ogre. And he is the one that spells your doom.
Yeah. Yep. Eats you whole, crunch your bones.
Crunch, crunch, crunch goes your bones. Drip, 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 drips your blood. And you were never seen again.
Never, ever, ever.
Okay, Blackout on Loft Street. Getting back on topic.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of years ago, I was living with two other roommates near the university. I was a freshman, and they were both a year ahead of me. The three of us got along pretty well, but while they were always out having fun late at night, I was the homebody of the three. They would go out to campus events and parties, and I would always enjoy a little privacy at the apartment. We were living in a two-story colonial style home on Loft Street. The house was painted blue and white, matching our school colors. Whenever my roommates were gone for a night, I would be home doing my classwork or playing the Xbox. Not sponsored, by the way. The
Yeah.
guys wouldn't be home until really late, close to midnight. They left for a game at the stadium one night in late September, going into October, close to spooky month. Really close.
Yeah.
It was getting
Perfect for
cold
school.
outside. Yeah, it was getting cold outside, and there's a noticeable draft in our apartment. They would be gone for several hours while I got to have some quiet. I was playing Call of Duty when the blackout happened. One
Also not
minute,
sponsored.
not sponsored at all. One minute I was on a kill streak, and the next my room was plunged into blackness. I was startled by the sudden power outage. As I looked around my room, I took a second to calm myself down and look outside my window. Oh no, my kill streak is gone. I'm sorry. Okay, this one's starting out a bit more slow, but yes.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to pander to the general audience. Oh yeah, it's Call of Duty. I play
Call of
it too.
Duty, we all played it, didn't we? Oh my god. And you know, Blackout, Black Ops? No?
Yep,
Yeah?
yep, yep. No.
Anyways, I pulled the curtains to find no other source of light on Loft Street. Likewise, the street lamps were also dead. There was no moon that night either. It was like the whole entire world had gone dark that night without any light. I was feeling panic creep into me again. At this
Oh,
point, yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever actually seen like a nighttime like that? No lights, no moon, dark as shit.
It is, yeah.
And then, actually, I had a night happen like that, and then I
Yeah.
lost my glasses like a few hours
Oh,
before
no,
it turned
no.
night, and I am blind. I am legally blind without my
Completely
glasses.
blind, blackness, right?
So it was just black all over, man. It was
Yeah.
so scary to take a fucking step, but you know what I did in my rush to get home?
What'd you
I
do?
just I hopped on my bike and just pedaled and tried to memorize my path. Like
Yeah.
I would see glimpses of corners of buildings, and then I'd just be like, okay, I gotta turn here, gotta turn here. I don't know how I survived. I could have been hit by a car. I could have run into a wall. Anything could have happened.
It could have been a
But
lot of
yeah,
things, but
I made it home. It was like a mile.
you made it home and you survived. Man,
Yeah. Yep. Got my emergency glasses, and it was all good. But the scariest thing I've ever done, hands out.
driving out in complete blackness. Man,
Okay.
man. Okay. I haven't driven like that, but you know, I can understand. I can feel it. Moving on, at this point, my sense of hearing increased to make up for my lack of sight. From downstairs, I could hear the back door open with a long, almost deliberate crack. I was relieved at the idea of my roommates being home. I was feeling around for my door when I felt the knob in my hand. I was going to go downstairs to tell them what happened, but I did not. Instead, I turned the deadbolt and locked myself inside. Downstairs, I heard heavy footsteps walk around downstairs. Double downstairs.
Yeah, double downstairs. He has two basements.
Apparently. The basement
Also, he
and the
has a
basement
knob in his
basement.
hand. The knob.
I felt the knob. Look. I couldn't understand at the time why I was staying quiet or why I locked the door. It was my roommates, right? Then it hit me, and fear was gripping my heart. My roommates were never this quiet when coming home. They would always barge through the front door, whooping and hollering about the fun they had. They would even shout out my name just to try to annoy me. I turned my back to the door and slammed my body against the wooden surface. I made a louder sound than I meant to. The footsteps downstairs stopped for a time. Whoever was down there must have heard me. Then they started up again. This time, coming up the stairs. I heard each loud thud of boots walking up, each step getting closer and closer to my floor, and then finally stopping just outside my door. Even in that cold room, I was sweating profusely. I took light, shallow breaths, trying to be as quiet as possible. The intruder was still behind my bedroom door, never making a sound. I stood there for an indeterminate length of time. I was feeling uncomfortable from standing for what was feeling like hours. Did the intruder know I was there? What were they doing, just standing there while not making a sound? I couldn't find a way out of my room with it being so dark. My eyes began to focus on the window, leading to a two-story drop to the driveway below. I was desperate enough to fly out that way and taking my chances with the pavement. But was this what the intruder wanted? Were they waiting for me to make some kind of noise and break in? Maybe anytime they could just break down the door, I had to leave before they had the idea. I walked away from the door, trying to stay quiet. I had reached the window and opened it when I had
We heard, obviously.
when I heard the footsteps start again. This time, leaving my hallway down the stairs. I heard a slight but very noticeable click from the door downstairs.
What, don't you head stuff, man? You know?
I had stuff, when something far away goes beep boo, I'm like, oh damn, I heard that, I had that, I had
You
that,
stick your head outside and just
I
like,
had
I
that,
had it.
I had it, guys, I had it. That threw me off so hard. Like, head?
Also, the word gripping from earlier, it's actually, you forgot a P, so it's griping.
Oh, it's griping.
But
Oh,
no, he misspelled it. It's supposed to be gripping, but he
well,
spelled it out. God
it's
damn.
not that far off, I guess. Good enough.
It's a whole letter.
But I
it's a
headed
different
it.
word.
I headed
Headed.
it.
Yeah, man. You reached the window, opened it, and when I
And then I
head
had
the footsteps.
Oh
How do you
man,
head footsteps?
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess goalies would be able to tell you.
I mean, I guess. Like, if you have a portable head that just, tells you stuff, I'm like, oh, hey, my head told me this.
Doolahans.
I had it,
Yeah. They had everything.
They had everything. Oh, God. Okay. I didn't leave my room at all after that. Even when the lights miraculously turned back on, I crouched next to my window and allowed myself the proper breathing. A rush of tears and mucus rushed out of my face. Like fear decided to leave my body in the form of a crying fit. I heard my roommates come back for real around 1:30 a.m., making their usual shouts. Never before was I so happy to hear their voices at top level. When they reached my floor, however, they became uncharacteristically quiet.
You got it.
That sent me into another panic attack. I heard them say, "Adam, you in there?" I walked toward my door and replied to them, "Yeah, I'm here. Did you write this?" I finally unlocked my door to ask them what they meant. On the outside was a message in red marker. "You should lock your back door. Someone could break in." He ended that with a smiley face.
Yeah. This is the friendly, menacing warning.
Just a friendly, menacing warning, Just a little tingle, Well, that was, not as horror as the rest, but it
Oh, geez,
had the right atmosphere,
we had a fox join in while we weren't paying attention.
We did, yes, we did.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, it's all good. That's gonna be
all good.
it for our recording.
It is gonna be
So,
it. Welcome to the forest. The foxes roam around here.
Yep, yep.
And you never
And
know when the
then,
killer fox might strike.
well, you know, this is just gonna be recording number 2. Scary stories. Who knows
Yeah,
what other things we do
yeah,
next time.
yeah.
We for sure still gotta do the Onichan thing.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
That's gonna be awesome.
that might be next time. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see.
We've been hyping that shit up too long.
Honestly, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm
Well,
gonna end
yes.
the recording now, and
And you're recording.
yeah. Thank you for listening. If you listen for
Thank
this
you for
long, it's been an
listening.
hour 15.
Thank you for
Yeah.
reading alongside
Hope you
us.
enjoyed. Oh yeah. Well, the links for the stories are gonna be in the description and stuff.
The links
Because
for the
otherwise we'll get
stories.
sued.
Yes. Well, if they care enough to sue us.
Well,
But yes, the
they
links will
care.
still be in
Yep.
the description below. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like,
Hope you enjoyed.
hope you
know?
enjoyed. And may the spooks be with you. You
May
never
the
know what
spooks
might be
with you.
lurking behind your very own back. Whether it's
Maybe
an alien
your
tissue,
skin might become alien.
or
Or your wife
whether
might go fucking crazy.
your wife goes crazy and tries to kill other children
Yeah.
because you didn't give
All
her a
because of
child.
Satan. Or that.
Or that.
Okay.
Alright.
Goodbye.
See you next time on our show.
This has been Meep and Runic, brought to you by Meep and Runic.
And don't turn around.